The odds are clearer, the evidence is right there, and the latest headlines are blazing. Otto Kilcher of Alaska. The last frontier is facing the harshest storm of his public life. A reality star once revered, now portrayed as teetering on the brink. So what happened? Why did he seem to throw away the trust of his fans? And can he survive the gale swirling around him? To understand the noise, you have to start with the man, born April 21, 1952 in Homer, Alaska, the sixth child of Swiss immigrants Yule and Ruth Kilcher, pioneers who homesteaded the wilds in the 1940s and taught their children, Ats, Fay, Catkin, Stellavera, Mossy, Sunrise, Wurtala, and Otto, to live by grit, stewardship, and self-reliance, values that shaped Otto into the family's steady problem solver. From boyhood, he was drawn to tools and engines, apprenticing himself to machinery long before he ever had formal training, resurrecting dead generators, straightening bent wagon wheels, coaxing life from parts others had written off, and earning a quiet reputation across Kachemak Bay as the guy who could keep a homestead running when supplies were scarce and winters were cruel. Logging camp stints toughened him for the frontier's demands, while years of hands-on work with farm equipment and boats sharpened a mind always scanning for fixes, and that same restlessness pushed him into business, from freight and salvage on inland waters to hydraulics and gear repair, ventures that broadened his range from meadow to shoreline. He managed livestock transport across the bay, often moving horses aboard the family boat Nanook, oversaw marine logistics, while his wife Charlotte led land operations, and poured the same care into agriculture as he did into steel, eventually serving his community's cattlemen and championing sustainable land use around Homer. So when Alaska, The Last Frontier premiered in 2011, following the extended Kilcher family living off the land, Otto stepped in not as a made-for-TV persona, but as the authentic engine room of a remote homestead, keeping snowplows and tractors alive, rigging a homemade hydraulic water pump, coordinating cattle drives, and attacking day-to-day breakdowns with the practiced calm of a man who knows winter won't wait. Appearances that stacked past 105 episodes and anchored the show's tone of ingenuity over spectacle. Then came the moment that nearly ended it all. In Season 7, a routine day turned catastrophic when a cow struck him, throwing him onto an alder stump and pinning him as it rolled. Pain, blooming, breath shortening, minutes stretching like hours in the cold, paramedics delayed by deep snow and remoteness, family and responders hauling him across a frozen road to reach a vehicle, and finally an airlift to trauma care where surgeons plated 4 ribs, saving a life that many feared would slip away. Later, in Raw Posts, he talked about the toll of anesthesia on the liver, about feeling the tug of stitches, about the stubbornness required to be awake for every moment, an edge-of-the-abyss honesty that echoed his brother Ats Lee Kilcher's near-fatal fall a year earlier, when broken arm, shoulder, ankle, hip, crushed ribs, and punctured lungs kept him bedridden yet thankful. Promising he'd soon be back among the walking, Otto returned to the scene of his own accident not to dramatize it, but to face it, then slid back into the rhythm of repairs and seasons, and his fan base swelled again, drawn to the blend of hard work, humility, and impossible-to-fake know-how. But when the show stopped filming in 2022, rumor rushed into the silence, whispers of illness, then a false death notice that snowballed into tributes within 24 hours. Grief cascading across timelines before any confirmation, until Otto himself cut through the fog as he had once before back in 2016, after surgery, alive. Grateful, quieter by choice, and focused on the work that still matters. The backlash and speculation singed his reputation in places. Yet even critics concede that the evidence piled online is more heat than light. And the man at the center has always been a study in durability. Mechanic, cattleman, mariner, homesteader, whose resilience was forged long before a camera ever arrived. His personal life has known its own weather. Early marriages that ended. 2 sons, Levi and Ivan, often spelled Ivan in reports, from a later union. And since 1989, a partnership with Charlotte that began during the Exxon Valdez cleanup and grew to include raising her son Tori, proof that families, like machines, are maintained with patience and repair. Away from the spotlight, Otto has shared occasional homestead updates and repair walkthroughs online, choosing presence over noise as he and Charlotte take on projects that fit their values. Will Alaska? The last frontier returned to television, no one can say, but what's certain is that Otto's arc still reads the same. A kid from a frontier household who became the man everyone calls when the pump freezes. The tractor stalls or the bay is rough, and the cattle still need crossing. So does he deserve the hate and misconceptions swirling now? Or is this just another winter to outlast? Tell us what you think below. And if you value stories of real work, real risk and real recovery, subscribe. And keep an eye out for what comes next from Homer's most relentless homesteader.